It is time. It is time for my review for John Wick Chapter 4. It was all leading up to this. The moment is finally here. Chapter 4. The latest film in the John Wick franchise, and also supposedly the last, which we'll talk about that in the course of this review. So I just have to say right off the bat that this film is awesome. It's an incredible movie that must be watched by many. And this movie is already doing very good as far as numbers are concerned. It's done very well at the box office. People seem to love it. Critics seem to love it. Audience scores, critic scores, it's all skyrocketing. Everyone loves this movie. And after seeing the movie, I can understand why. I would even go as far to say that this film is maybe my favorite among all the John Wick films. It's honestly a toss-up between this movie and the first film. This movie has a lot going for it. It really does. You have a great cast, for one. Keanu Reeves is back as John Wick, supposedly for the final time. And you also have this one girl who plays Akira, I think her name is. And I want to say that this is actually her first role in a movie ever. And, well, at least that's what I've heard. And I thought she was cool in the movie. Definitely a highlight character in the movie. Same with Donnie Yen's character. Now, Donnie Yen, I'm not too familiar with him, but I do know of him. I think he was in the Ip Man films, which I plan on checking out very soon. And I would like to check out more of Donnie Yen's material, but Donnie Yen was definitely one of the most memorable characters of the movie. In fact, I would say that he was one of the main highlights of the movie. I really liked him in the movie. He, of course, plays this blind guy who's just really skilled at fighting, and it's really impressive because, you actually believe that he is a blind guy. He does good in the movie. He does. I mean, I think a lot of us can agree that he's one of the main highlights of the movie. He really took the spotlight in a lot of sections of the movie. And the movie is also very lengthy as well. I believe it's actually the longest among all the John Wick films, which is very impressive. It has an epic length. And after seeing the movie, I can definitely see why. A lot of cool action, especially in the first half when they're basically teaming up to defend the hotel. Really cool fight scenes. Great choreography within the fight scenes, great brutality. The brutality is there, it's back in this movie. Of course, it wouldn't be a John Wick film without the brutality. It's there, and it's really well done. And yeah, I of course really like the fight with that one guy in John Wick when they're at that nightclub where there's just water pouring on them. I thought that was a neat little feature to the movie. Something that's a tad different, like it's kind of unique, I kind of like that. It's really well done and it's really unique. And the second half of this movie, boy, things really go down in the second half of this movie. When he's being chased, John Wick jumps out a window, and of course at the very end when he's going up the stairs, those countless stairs, he gets kicked down the stairs and he just keeps going down and down and down. And that part, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was pretty hilarious. I really love that though. I thought that was really fun. And yeah, John Wick, he basically has to go up all these stairs. The shootout on the stairs, really epic. And then you also have this one guy who basically has this dog that he carries around. And John Wick actually ends up saving this guy's dog, which I thought that was really cool because obviously John Wick in the first film, he lost his dog. And it's almost like he not necessarily made up for that, but kind of in a way. You know what I mean by that. He basically did something right there. And of course, this guy remembers that John Wick saved his dog, and he ends up helping John Wick, which is nice. And of course, you can't forget about the ending, the very end as well, when John Wick and Donnie Yen's character are in this match together, where they basically have to draw their weapons on each other. At the end, you find out that Donnie Yen's character shot his gun, he shot John Wick, but John Wick never shot his gun. The main bad guy comes up, he wants to basically finish off John Wick. Before he could do so, you find out that John Wick never shot his gun, and he ends up using that bullet on the bad guy. That part really blew my mind. I was like, wow. Really epic, really intense. I love that. I love that part of the movie. It's just awesome. And then John Wick supposedly dies in the movie. Yeah, that actually surprised me. They basically pulled a No Time to Die. They pulled a Logan, insert movie that has a, beloved character die in the movie here, John Wick dies in the movie, supposedly. Which does have me a little confused, because I thought that they were going to make a 5th film. That's what I've heard. That's what was basically confirmed for a while. They actually planned on making a 5th film back-to-back with this movie. But that never happened, or at least as far as I know. They plan on taking a break from making John Wick movies. At least that's what I've heard. So I don't know how they're going to make a 5th one. I don't know if they're just going to continue without Keanu Reeves or what. I'm not really sure what they plan on doing. So that has me a little confused. So when I saw that he died at the end of the 4th film, I'm like, well, aren't they supposed to make a 5th one? Like, how do they plan on doing this? I mean, I really hope it's not one of those cases where, like, oh, he didn't really die, he faked his death or something. But, see, the thing is, that only works one time. You kind of thought for a second that he died at the end of the 3rd film when he fell off the roof. And then you find out that he's still alive. This only works one time, so why they would do it again is beyond me. But I don't know if that's what they're doing, but I don't know if they're going to do that, or if it's going to be a reboot or something. I'm not sure what they plan on doing if they do go forward with a 5th John Wick film. So that has me confused, because obviously he died off at the end of this film, the 4th film. So I am a little confused by that. So, yeah. But if they decided to just call it off at this film, end the franchise at this film here, I think that would be fine. I think that this is the perfect ending for John Wick. It seems like John Wick has fulfilled his purposes, and he's had a good run. This franchise has really had a good run. Not to mention, the weapons in this movie are epic as well, and just the weapons that John Wick uses. Of course, he uses nunchucks in the first half of the film. I really like the scene where he's using the nunchucks. I love the choreography within that fight scene in particular. And in the second half of the movie, he basically picks up this rifle that like shoots fire or something, which I thought was really cool. There's definitely a lot to talk about with this film, but I won't go over everything, of course. The story is epic. It's very cinematic. It's just an incredible movie. You definitely need to check it out. If you liked the first 3 films, you'll probably like this film. I personally love this movie, and I'll definitely be picking up this movie on Blu-ray and DVD. Yeah, I actually plan on picking up multiple copies of this movie, because I really love this movie, and yeah, I like to get quite a few copies of this film. So there you have it. John Wick Chapter 4, it's a great movie for sure. If I were to give this movie a score, I'll have to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I would maybe give it a 10, but I've never given a movie a 10 out of 10 score, so I'll just give it a 9.5, which is really darn close. An excellent movie for sure, so let me know what you think, because I know I'm not the only one that's seen this movie. So let me know what you think of John Wick Chapter 4 if you've seen it. So on that note, thanks for watching, and have a good one.